President Biden is preparing to address the nation tonight. He is expected to explain his decision to end his reelection bid, a move that has added even more uncertainty into the race for the White House.
Yes, we are joined by Doug Luzader this morning from Washington. Doug, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so what do you expect out of the speech tonight, sir?
Well, you know, I think we could probably broadly break this into three parts. He's obviously going to explain why he decided to drop out of the race. I mean, that's why he's doing this speech tonight. The other has to do with his endorsement of Kamala Harris. How full-throated will that be? And the other aspect has to do with the remainder of his presidency. He still has 6 months left in office. What does he plan to do with that time, and how will he make himself relevant? I mean, it's often difficult for a lame duck president to get much done at the end of a term, and he's going to try to, no doubt, preserve some kind of an agenda for the months that are still to come before the election.
Okay, so now without him in the race, we're looking at what's a real possibility of Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. What do we think is going to happen here in the next few weeks, months to come with the two of them at the top of tickets?
Well, we're going to be scrutinizing every poll. That much is for sure. There's a new Reuters poll out that I think gives Kamala Harris actually a 2-point edge over Trump. That's obviously still within the margin of error, but the trend line is going to be interesting here. And then, of course, how it looks in those all-important swing states, whether Kamala Harris is going to get a big bounce as a result of this announcement, and how much of a bounce Trump is going to get in the wake of the convention last week.
Doug, since the president issued that letter on Sunday, there have been calls among some conservatives saying, hey, he should resign the presidency now, step down, because if he can't run, he can't lead right now. Do you expect him to address those critics in the speech tonight, and if so, how?
Well, you know, Anthony, I think at least indirectly he probably will in terms of laying out an agenda for things that he still wants to do. You know, I think it's pretty clear to everyone he did not want to abandon this reelection bid. Ultimately, the pressure got to a point where he obviously felt compelled to do so. But he still, no doubt, wants to get some things done, and that in and of itself may be a response to many Republicans especially who think that he needs to resign the office now.
Okay, Doug Luzader there in Washington. Talk to you again tomorrow.
Thanks so much.